press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello students, welcome back to your social science class. Today we are going to continue with what we left behind in the previous class, that's the lesson management of business. Now we studied, as far as we have finished, we have studied the definitions, we finished the principles of management. Today I told you we are going to discuss about the functional areas of management, and then we will move further into decision making process and other important aspects that are there in your text. Now I hope you have read how much we have finished, because there is always a connection to what's given in the lesson from the first to the last part that is there. So today we will study functional areas of management. Okay, functional areas of management. Now we'll study what's management first and then move on to what are the different stages of managing a certain thing. Now we have studied the definition, isn't it? We have studied the definition, that is, management is the art of getting things done by others. So this was the definition that we studied. Now while you are trying to get things done by others, there is also a process where you are appreciating the efforts of others, where you are involving them in whatever they are interested in. Now take an example, you have to organize the sports day, okay? You will have to organize the sports day. Now a sports committee is done, okay? The school classes are divided and each class is given a responsibility. Now maybe your class 10 standard students are given on organizing the day, maybe your class is given on decorations for that day or march fast for that day, the band for that day. So okay, each class is given one responsibility. Let's assume your class is given the band for that day, your band group that's going to welcome the guests, and it's also going to lead the march fast that's there. Now when these responsibilities are divided, okay, there is a teacher above you who is guiding you, but you students are going to do it. So what is everybody doing? Everybody is managing the thing managing the responsibility or the thing that is being given to them. Now the students of or your seniors are managing the entire program and they have given you the responsibility. So what you will have to do? You will have to gather people for the band, you will have to give them practice, you will have to know how to play those instruments, okay? So that's how you will have to manage certain things. Now each person, now the band cannot be done by one person, isn't it? You need a group of people to do it. So when there is a group of people, each member in the group is important. Can you eliminate one person who plays a certain kind of instrument and just leave him away? You cannot leave him away, but you will have to gather him together, isn't it? You will have to take in each person individually, and because they are going to contribute to your the whole band scene that is going to happen on the sports day. So that's how you are managing things. Now basic understanding is given in your text. Let's see what that basic understanding is first and then move further. So this right management, okay, continue here. Management is concerned with getting things done through the effort of others. So getting things done with the effort of others. Each one is contributing, each one is doing. Even if your class is given a project, okay, and or a science model to do. Now you divide yourself into 4 or 5 people. Then each group will do a model. Now everybody is giving in their effort, isn't it? That's how you do it. Now to do this or to extract the efforts from others, a certain kind of system is needed. Okay, it should be done in a systematic manner. That is, there should be a certain blueprint. You should know which should come after what. Can you do it in a mess? Can you do it with confusion? No, you should know, right? If it's a sports day, okay, we will have to begin with prayer. Maybe the guests will come, we'll invite them, we'll have their welcome speech, we'll make them sit on the stage. Okay, we'll hoist the school flag. Okay, so many other procedures that are there. So everything has to go systematically. Can you do the valedictory during the inauguration? No. It has its time, isn't it? It has its time, it has its way of doing it. Now they are divided, okay? Or aspects of management are divided into 6 kinds or 6 parts. That is, first is you will have to plan. So what are you doing? You are planning. We will go in detail one by one, but understand on an overview now. First you have to plan. Then you will have to organize. Organizing. Planning. Organizing. Okay, I think you can write it as 1 point. Anyway, it's under 1 point, okay? Then staffing. We'll come to this, okay? We'll come to that each one by one. Staffing, next is staffing. Then is directing. Okay? Then is coordination. Coordination. And the last one is controlling. So these are the steps that have been divided in the managerial functions, okay, in the aspect of management. That is, you will have to plan, you will have to organize, you will have to take your staff, you will have to take your people, you have to direct, okay, you should know how to do it, you should give your commands, your orders. After you have given your commands or orders, you will have to coordinate, you will have to bring people together, work together, and finally you will have to control. Now we will look at this one by one and understand what each of these aspects really mean. Okay, so first one is planning. All right. Now this is the first step. You have to plan. You have to plan the sports day, isn't it? On which day you want to keep your sports day. What are the things you want to do on that day? Who is the guest who is going to come as the chief guest or other guests of honor? Who are going to come? Why will that person be important on our sports day? Who is going to give a speech? Who is going to do the prayer? Who is going to do the march past? Who is going to play the band? Okay? Who is going to set up the ground? So what you have to do? How to set up the ground? Do we read sports equipments for our games? How many number of games can we keep? How do we, on how many days should we do our sports, and then should we do our finals on the final day? So all this needs planning, isn't it? Without all this, can you simply say, okay, we'll do sports day tomorrow? Can you do that? You can't do that, isn't it? You can't be doing that. So you need planning. Anything. I took the example of a sports day. You take the example of anything. Basically your studies, your games, or your any activity that you do also. Now, if you are attending any dance class, or if you are playing out with your friends in the evening, now during the school time, can you just say, oh, no, I want to play with my friends, I'm going. Can you say that? No, everything has a time. You're planning your day, isn't it? After I go back home from school, I will go and play with my friends for so long. We will play this today. So that's how you discuss. Can you when you have your play time, or when you want to mingle with your friends, or when you want to play in your neighborhood, you want to do certain kind of activities, maybe sing, dance, draw, music, anything, okay? Will you do something else at that time? No. You have planned, I will do this at this time and I will do. Only if you plan, everything goes systematically, otherwise nothing goes. It is all, okay, taken for granted attitude will be wrong. So, understand, what does planning involve? It involves the future course of action. That is like a blueprint. Okay, what are we going to do in future? What do we need to do in future? Future course of action. What is our action in future? Alright. Now, what does planning include? It includes, okay, determination of organizational objective. Okay, we will come to that. Determination of organizational objectives. Organizational objectives or goals or aims. Okay, that is determination of organizational objectives is what are our aims, what are our goals, how much can we spend, how much can we do, who are the people who are going to be involved with us, okay. So we will have to determine, we will have to think what are our objectives, are we going according to the goals of our company, are we going according to those goals or the rules of our institution, okay. Determination of organizational objectives. Next is formulation of plans. You split it into points if you want, okay, so that will be easy for you. Formulation of plans. That is, you need to plan what you are doing. You are formulating, you are inventing, you are creating a plan. You are making certain policies. Okay, well, let us take an educational institution. Policies can be taken in terms of activities that we do. Don't we conduct certain competitions? Maybe you have to celebrate the Environment Day. The whole week will be celebrated as a Green Week, where you conduct different competitions, okay. Or maybe your school has told that, okay, we will donate some things for the poor children. So that whole week you will have different competitions. Then you will be requested to bring your old clothes, maybe stationery, maybe items that can be given to those children, okay. So that whole week will be dedicated. So these are activities that we do. Certain in organizations, they have certain policies. So this is what we can do, this is what we cannot be doing. Strategies, how we will have to do. Okay, our strategies, what's our basic plan, what is our aim of doing it, okay. We should have a particular sentence or particular idea in mind so that we do it proper. What kind of programs can we do? Okay, these are like activities. What kind of extra additional programs can we do? What are the procedures that we have to follow in order to organize an event? Now, if you are doing it outside, okay, outside your campus, maybe you will have to seek permission from the authority, maybe you will have to inform the police department so that this is what is we are conducting and we need your support, okay, so that in order to avoid fights and other things in case it happens. So you will have to do all these. If there is any procedure where you will have to ask permission from many people, you will have to have signatures of the authority to do it, or even within the campus you will have to approach your principal so that the principal knows what you are doing, isn't it? You need permission for what you are doing. So are there any other procedures? If we are funding anybody, if we are asking money from anybody as sponsorship, are there any certain policies or are there certain requirements, rules and regulations that we have to follow? In the end, you will have to set your schedule. That is, on which date can we keep? Now, if you are having a week-long competition, let's take 1 to 7 date. So, on 1st of August, September, October, what do we keep? On 2nd, what do we keep? Okay, our timings, do we provide food? Okay, lunch break is at what time? Do we have a brunch time? Do we have dinner for them? Okay, do we have cultural programs? So, you will have to plan out your schedule. You will have to plan out what is going to be done on each of these days and what is going to be done on the end or the final day. So, this is planning, the first aspect, that is course of action you have to do in your future. So, you will have to determine your objectives, you will have to know your objectives, you will have to plan, you will have to know your policies, you have to have certain strategies, that is quick, wise ideas to do it. What kind of programs can you do? Procedures and schedules. Moving on to the next one, it's organizing. Now, once you have planned your program, you need to execute it, isn't it? You need to organize. Maybe now take the sports day. To organize it, you should know, okay, we have to set the ground, we have to buy certain equipments on that day, we will have to call the referees there, okay, we will have to assign people on the ground to help us, we will have to have a first aid kit ready, okay, the health center like, okay. So, these are the different things that are there. So, let's go into the next one, that's organizing. Okay. Organizing is you are bringing together what? You are bringing together manpower, that is contribution of each individual, manpower along with your resources or material resources. So, what are you doing in organizing? You are assigning work to a lot of people, that is manpower. You are taking energy from the person, the person is contributing to it along with what? Along with other resources, okay, additional things that you need. Now, if you want to display something, you maybe on a placard, okay, you want to display something, you will have to buy charts, you will have to buy the wooden pieces to hang it over, okay. So, you will need other resources that are needed. Can you simply stand and will the work be done? No. There are extra things which have to contribute to your understanding. Now, material resources can be in the form of machines, or materials. So machines or material. You can use a machine or your certain materials that are there. Now why do you put manpower and material resources together? To achieve your objectives that you did in the planning stage. So to achieve your objectives, you put together manpower and the material resources, alright. Now after this, it involves delegation, that is division of work, division of authority. Okay, delegation of authority. Now we have taken the sports day. Okay, the 10th standard, maybe the class leader is the sports rep, or your SPL is the head there, and the student there has divided. So he becomes the manager in the post, as a post of a manager. The SPL or what's the president of the school, okay. The student president becomes the head there, okay. He comes on the post of a manager, and that is being divided among his council, among his ministers, and then it moves forward. So there is a link, okay. If you remember, in the last class we drew it, okay. So people are there around. This person is handling whom? These three are handling two each. So authority is being divided. Now when authority is divided, these people are all linked together. They are all working for the same purpose, that is the sports day, or maybe some cultural program that is given by the company to raise funds. So what is being done? Everybody is linked together, but they are accountable, or they are responsible for this person. This person is responsible for the other two. So write it like this: delegation of authority to the managers, okay, and with that you are establishing or establishment of a link between, okay, you are dividing the authority, and in return you are establishing a link between whom? Between the various positions that you have given. Okay, so understand this. You have divided the authority. After you have divided, there is a link between people. There is a link between different positions, okay. This may be your school pupil leader or the president. Then this may be the sports rep, this may be the cultural rep, this may be whatever rep it is, okay. You are linking the positions with each of these persons for what? For one single purpose, okay. To do it in a coordinated manner, to do it in a peaceful and a nice and a smooth manner, you are dividing your work, and when you are dividing your work gets delegated, and that's how it runs smoothly all over to conduct your program. So this was organizing. Moving on, let's see what is staffing. Okay, staffing. This is the third one. Staffing is, it's a process of selecting people, okay. Process of recruitment, selection, process of recruiting, selection, placement, training. Okay, we'll write it first and then we'll discuss. Placement, training, growth, and development of the members of the organization. Okay. Now, take the example of a company. You need people to work with you, isn't it? That is the process of recruiting, recruitment. Then you are selecting people for whichever post you need. Now, if you need a manager or you need a personal advisor or different kinds of posts, okay, that they do. Then placement, where usually happens in colleges, okay, where students get selected for a certain job as they are doing their courses, or you are getting placed somewhere is also called as placement. Once you have got your job, you go into certain kind of training that is needed for the development of your skills. When you do that, you have your growth and development. Why is staffing done? So that it's development of its members and that in return benefits the organization. Now, if you go back to the sports day example, staffing is you're selecting the best people who will help you to organize it, okay. So, in this it will come only selection, because you need to have a beautiful program that has to be put forth for the others. So, you will have to staff, you will have to select, staffing, okay, staff. Understand staff, staffing. I mean, school, don't you say the staff is sitting, that's your teachers, okay, staff there. So, staff is selecting people. Alright, this is staffing. Moving on, let's see what's directing. Directing, meaning you are guiding, you are giving instructions. So, it's a process of giving instructions. Now, once you have planned to organize it, there should be one person who has to guide you, isn't it? There should be one person who should tell you what you have to do. So, guiding, giving instruction, you are supervising, that is looking after. Okay, supervising. As a leader, you are leading the people, okay, for the accomplishment of your goals. Accomplishment of your goals. So, what are you doing here? You are directing. The word itself suggests that you are guiding. You are giving instructions. Now, when you are organizing a sports day, you need instructions, isn't it? Maybe you need a uniform that you will have to wear. Somebody has to tell you what you have to wear on that day. Maybe your white uniform or your sports uniform, whichever uniform you have, okay, or your normal school uniform. Somebody should guide you what you should do, isn't it? Maybe there should be a band master who should help you to train you or to tell you how you have to do it. He has to lead you. There should be a leader to lead you. There should be people to supervise, that is look after, whether you're doing the job or no. So, each person has its own responsibility. Basically, everybody is interconnected or interlinked for one purpose, that is accomplishment of their goals. That is to achieve their goals that is necessary. Now, once they have done that, who is giving these instructions? The leader there, the manager is giving to his subordinates, okay. Understand the word subordinates. That is people under me or people Now if I have a boss over me, I will be his subordinate, or if there are people under me will be my subordinates, okay, people who are working. Now the manager will give his instructions to his subordinates, okay. Your school pupil leader will give you instructions to your other ministers, or your principal will give your instructions to the students, okay, during an assembly. So the person there who is on the topmost will give instructions to who are under them, and that is how when instructions are given, everything is planned and it is successfully done, smoothly done. So instructions are very, very important. The next one is coordinating. Now you have planned, okay. What is the second one? You have organized, you have planned, you know how to organize, you have brought out your people who you want, you have told them, you have given them instructions as to do. Now after you have given instruction, everybody has to work hand in hand, okay. You and I are maybe belonging to different, we have different responsibilities. You are in the band, maybe I am in the stage committee, but yet we have to coordinate. Now if I am speaking something and if you start playing your band, there will be a mess. So you should know when I will stop talking and when you will have to start to play the band, alright. So that is how you will have to coordinate. When there is no coordination, then everything is a confusion. Everything happens on its own, people will do on their own. If you don't know what kind of words will I be using on the stage, or what is my last line of ending my speech, you will not know when you will have to start the band. You may do it on your own way. So there is a time that is being set. People should know what would come after what. Even though they are individually doing their responsibilities, on an overview, everybody should know what is happening. Alright, coordinating. That is blending of activities. Now if you want to make a mango milkshake, okay, what are you doing in the mixer or your blender? What do? You cut mango into pieces, you put a little sugar, you put milk, okay. Now you think the mango is not sweet, okay, imagine the mango is not sweet and you have not added sugar, nor have you added milk to it. Will it become a mango milkshake? It won't become mango milkshake, alright. But you need different items so that you can blend each together, and that becomes a mango milkshake. In the same way, when you are working in the company, you will need to coordinate between people, okay. Why do you need to coordinate? Because if I am saying something and if you are saying something and we both don't know what we are saying, then I don't know what I am doing, you don't know what you will be doing, both of us will not know what each one of us will be doing, alright. So blending of activities, coordinating is blending of activities. Why do you need blending of activities or merging of activities? Who does this blending? Different sectors, okay. You have divided your different responsibilities, 10th standard, 9th, 8th, okay, your PUC, college students, whatever it is, you have divided. Or the band group, the inauguration group, the march past group, the ground setting group, whatever it is. Every person has, every department, let's take it as a department. In the company also there is a department. So blending of activities of all these departments. Blending of activities of all these departments, again to do what? To accomplish your goals or to achieve that one purpose. Everybody has only one goal now, but we are doing it differently in different ways. But in the end, when we want to achieve on that final day, everything has to come together to get that goal. Otherwise that goal will not come. Okay, your studies too. Now if you have planned to get a certain amount of marks, okay, you set your goal for yourself, you have set it. How much? Let's assume somebody has assumed to take 60%. Okay, 60% in the whole year. What's your end exam? So you will plan, isn't it? You will plan, now what is the department there? Your different subjects, 6 subjects that you have, different subjects become different departments. Now you will have to study something from English, you will have to study something from math, from science, from social, from okay, your PT. So different subjects have to be dealt together to get that 60%, because it will be put together. On the last day when you get your result, all your subjects will be merged together. So all your subjects will be blended together in order to get your goal, isn't it? So that is how you balance. Same thing happens here when you coordinate. Now this is done through group efforts. Now you and I alone can we do? We need a lot of people, isn't it? Now just imagine the sports day is only given to, I will be guiding you and you will be working with me, or we will be helping each other. Can we both do it? We both cannot do it, isn't it? We need a lot of people with us. So it is group effort that goes into going. So there is unity of action. Unity of action, that is, my group will work with an unity. I am taking in all efforts of my group. You are taking in all efforts of your group. You are doing a certain kind of job. Okay, maybe they are setting the ground there. So everybody is involved, everybody is united. I will do this. Okay, I will do these markings. I will put the net there. I will bring the equipments. Everybody is in the same responsibility, but they have still divided, yet they are united. Again, all this is done for the accomplishment of goals. The last one is controlling. With that we will stop. Last one, the controlling aspect. Okay, last one, that's the 6th one, is controlling. Now when you have crossed all the stages, that's the 5 stages that you have done, okay, and you're all ready. Now this is the most important day for you. This is the end, last day, final day, executing whatever you have planned. Now controlling involves all the aspects, okay, all managerial activities. It covers all managerial activities, that is all the other 5 points. Okay. Then controlling, okay, this is giving you an overview of what you have done. It has an eye on what others are doing. Have you planned well? Have you directed well? Have you taken your staff well? Okay, have you coordinated well? So this is being done. It keeps a check on the other functions of management. That's what's written in your text. So every manager has its own functions to perform, all right? It's the same definition. Now, there are 3 objectives that are there of controlling. Objectives of controlling, okay? Why do you need to control? You need to control, first one, in order to keep an atmosphere of order, okay? You need to have discipline. Why do you need to have order and discipline? So that you can coordinate well, okay? And your end result will also come perfect. You need to have order and discipline for coordination of activities. So first objective of controlling is you need to have an atmosphere where there is order, there is discipline, people are following what is being said, so that you can coordinate all the activities properly. Second objective is to confirm the actual performance with your planning. Compare with what? With the predetermined plan. That is basically what you have done on your last day. Now, last final on the sports day, have you done it exactly as what you have planned? Okay, that is that it confirms. Controlling confirms whether you have done your sports day perfectly and at the correct time when as you had planned in your blueprint. Has it gone on time? Have you started on time? Only if you start on time you can end on time, isn't it? Otherwise you will have to adjust somewhere in between so that you can end on time. Otherwise it will prolong and it will go on a long stretch. So objective second is it matches your actual performance along with the plans that you have done. So the last objective is to achieve the overall efficiency of the organization. Now controlling is needed, isn't it? Certain amount of control is needed, otherwise you will go out of control. So when controlling is done, the person who has authority to control will supervise everything, will keep checking everything so that everything is right in its own way. So in order to achieve the overall efficiency, that is perfect or ways of doing it well of the organization. Alright students, today is a little long, no problem, but it was an easy concept. You study and read how much we have done. In the next class, we will move on to decision making process, and I think we can wind up the lesson in the next class. Please read if you want to read page number 142 and 143, that is the next part that is going to come, as well as what we have studied today. So functional areas of management is what we covered in this class. Thank you students for listening.